Welcome back to Science Meets Adventure, the channel where we don't just travel to beautiful places, we uncover the hidden science that makes them feel unreal. Today, we're heading into one of the most misunderstood landscapes on Earth. Because deserts aren't just dry places, they can generate their own winds, build their own storms, and swing from burning heat to biting cold in the same day. So here's the big question. How can a place with so little water create weather so intense? Picture the desert as a machine, an enormous natural engine powered by sunlight. In many deserts, the sky is clear, the air is dry, and the land is wide open, which means the sun hits the ground with almost nothing to block it. Sand and rock heat up fast, sometimes shockingly fast, much faster than the air above them. It's like the entire desert floor becomes a giant stovetop. The sun is the burner, the ground is the pan, and the air sitting on top is about to get cooked. As the surface warms, it heats the thin layer of air touching it. Warm air becomes lighter, so it rises. That rising motion is the first domino in desert weather, because the moment air starts moving upward, something has to replace it. Nearby air rushes in to fill the gap, and that movement, air flowing from one place to another, is wind. In deserts, wind can build quickly because there are fewer trees and obstacles to slow it down. The landscape is open, and the atmosphere is free to move. This is why deserts have a rhythm that smart travelers learn fast. The desert heat engine hits hardest around midday. If you hike then, you're stepping into peak output, when the ground is radiating heat upward and the air is most unstable. The best time to explore is early morning, when the surface hasn't fully heated, or later in the afternoon as the sun begins to drop. And here's a rule that keeps adventure fun instead of punishing. You don't beat the desert with toughness. You outsmart it with timing, shade breaks, and a steady plan for water. The desert doesn't care how brave you are, but it always rewards people who respect its schedule. Now, as warm air rises, it creates small differences in air pressure that can drive bigger changes. If you hear the term pressure gradient, here's the plain English meaning. One area has slightly higher pressure, another has slightly lower pressure, and air naturally moves from high to low to balance things out, like water flowing downhill. In a desert, intense heating can create stronger pressure differences over short distances, and that can accelerate winds. Those winds don't just blow through the desert, they shape it. Wind is the sculptor of deserts. It pushes grains of sand up dune faces, spills them over the crests, and slowly shifts entire dune fields like a living ocean of land. Over time, wind can sandblast rocks too, polishing them into smooth curves, sharp ridges, and strange formations that look carved by an artist. And sometimes, the wind does something even more dramatic. It starts to spin. That's where dust devils come in. They look like miniature tornadoes, but they're usually different in how they form. Dust devils are born on hot days when the ground heats unevenly. One patch of land gets hotter than the next, and air rises faster in that spot. If a light breeze nudges that rising column, it can begin rotating. The rotation tightens, the column strengthens, and suddenly you have a swirling vortex walking across the desert floor, scooping up dust and sand like a spinning vacuum. Some dust devils are small and playful, just a little twist of dust. Others can be strong enough to rattle tents, sting your skin with blowing sand, and ruin a perfectly planned shot if your camera is exposed. So here are two practical desert travel moves that photographers and hikers swear by. First, bring something to cover your face and protect your eyes when wind picks up, because sand in your eyes will end your adventure mood instantly. Second, treat dust like the desert's silent thief. It sneaks into zippers, lenses, and buttons. Keep your gear sealed, avoid changing lenses in windy conditions, and check wind forecasts before heading deep into dunes. The desert doesn't always announce when visibility is about to drop. Now comes the part that shocks people the most. Deserts can turn stormy fast. Many travelers assume deserts never get rain. But some deserts do get rain, just not often and not gently. In certain regions, there's a seasonal pattern where moisture gets pulled in during warmer months. A famous example is the desert monsoon in parts of the American Southwest, but the basic idea applies in multiple places. The desert heats up air so intensely that it encourages rising motion, and seasonal winds can bring in moisture from nearby oceans or bodies of water. That moisture-laden air rises, cools as it climbs, and eventually forms towering storm clouds. This is where desert weather becomes pure drama. One moment, the sky is a hard, empty blue. The next, clouds build upward like mountains in fast motion. Lightning cracks across the horizon, thunder rolls over the flats, and rain can fall in intense bursts that feel almost impossible in a landscape built around dryness. But the most dangerous part of desert storms often isn't the lightning or the wind, it's the water. Flash floods are one of the desert's biggest traps. Desert ground can be so dry and compacted that it can't absorb rain quickly. So when heavy rain hits, even if it's far away, the water races across the surface and funnels into channels. Dry washes and arroyos, which look harmless and empty most days, can transform into raging rivers with barely any warning. That's why desert route planning matters. Avoid camping in low channels. Be cautious about crossing washes when storms are possible. And if you see dark clouds building over distant hills, treat that as a serious signal, not just a beautiful photo opportunity. And now for the moment that feels like desert magic. The temperature drop after sunset. How can a place that just tried to cook you alive become cold enough to make you shiver at night? The answer is the desert's lack of humidity and clouds. During the day, the ground stores heat. At night, it releases that heat upward as invisible infrared energy. In humid regions, water vapor acts like a blanket, trapping warmth. But desert air is dry, and skies are often clear, so there's no blanket. Heat escapes straight into space. That's why the desert can feel like two climates in one day. Blazing summer at noon, chilly autumn by midnight. If you've ever camped in the desert, you know this shift is real. The same place that felt like an oven in the afternoon can feel surprisingly cold after dark, especially when the wind picks up. That's why packing layers isn't optional. It's desert intelligence. A warm jacket, a wind layer, and a decent sleep setup can turn a miserable night into one of the most unforgettable experiences you can have outdoors. Because when the air is dry and the clouds disappear, deserts give you something spectacular in return: the night sky. Stars don't just appear out there, they explode across the darkness, sharp and endless, like the universe is showing off. And the desert has even more tricks. Sometimes you'll see a massive wall of dust rolling toward you, turning the horizon into a moving brown wave. That can happen when thunderstorm outflows. Cool air rushing outward from a storm slam into dry ground and kick up dust in a wide front. It's called a haboob, and it can turn day into dusk in minutes. Other times, you'll see a shimmering lake on the road or cross the flats that vanishes as you approach. That's a mirage, caused by layers of hot and cooler air bending light and tricking your eyes into seeing reflections of the sky on the ground. And then there's one of the strangest sights of all: rain that never reaches the earth. In very dry air, droplets can fall from a cloud and evaporate before they hit the ground, leaving streaks hanging beneath the cloud like ghost curtains. That phenomenon is called virga, rain you can see but can't feel, because the desert is so dry it can erase a storm mid-air. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Deserts create their own weather through a powerful combination of heat, air pressure differences, wind, and sudden collisions with moisture. The sun turns the ground into a heat engine. Rising air pulls in wind. Wind sculpts dunes and spins dust devils into life. Seasonal moisture can flip clear skies into thunderstorms, and when night arrives, the desert drops its heat fast, swapping scorching days for cold nights and crystal-clear stars. Deserts are beautiful, but they're not gentle. They reward preparation, awareness, and respect. Travel smart, plan for extremes, and let the desert show you what it really is. Not empty, not silent, just wildly alive in a different way. If you enjoyed this journey into the science behind the scenery, like this video, share it with your travel buddies, and subscribe to Science Meets Adventure for more adventures into the wild.